Module 2, marketing and information. So global market entry, we'll go over that. And the STP, what does STP stands for, guys?
Segment, target markets, and positioning.
Segmentation, very good. That's when we target, and finally we want to position. Okay, this, and then after that, market segments, target markets, and positioning. Can you read?
Targeting, positioning.
Mm-hmm.
So you want me to read the...
Yes, now slide number 4. Page 2, slide number 4, yeah.
Okay. Market segments, target markets, positioning. Market for any product consists of the people and businesses, for products sold to businesses rather than to consumers that need, want, or can be persuaded to want the product.
Very good. I really like that because especially marketing, not just international marketing, it's how are you selling, adding a value. You are selling an idea. You are selling maybe creating needs that our potential consumers, clients, they didn't even know they needed that. But nowadays, okay, that's we are going to sell that idea and that value. So some products they actually need, okay, to be able, like what? Milk. You need milk. You need bread, okay? Those are the basic necessities. But then we can work with other necessities that are not as basic. Like the latest
Tell them
phone.
gluten is bad so we can sell them $8 chips that don't have gluten in them.
Say that again?
So we can tell people gluten is bad for you so that we can sell them $8 potato chips that are gluten-free instead of the $4 potato chips that have gluten.
Okay.
Go to groceries and buy the bulks, right? Because it costs so much. So what they do, they buy the whole package, put it in smaller package, and sell it to a cheaper price where it's affordable for people who want it.
Yeah.
That's why I think when you go to like the Korean stores and stuff, they always have like little Ziploc bags of cashews and pistachios. They buy the big Costco bag and they put it in the smaller bags.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, and they do that as well. Like as a regular consumer, a friend of mine does that all the time.
Do that with drugs, you know. You buy the kilo and you cut it.
Right.
We're talking about, yes, something that they need that must be water. You need to drink water, okay? Well, orange juice, I don't know if there could be a need, but there are some basic products, and we have that as well on the taxation when you go, and then they have like a smaller amount of taxes because those are the basic products. Then others that they need or they want, we are going to create those needs as a marketing experts that we are, okay? Market segment, continue reading, please.
Different forms of the product have different uses for it. Have different uses for it, or read, watch, or listen to different media, see different advertisements. Example, laptop computers. People use them for work and for personal tasks. If these groups of people want exactly the same features in a laptop, example, speed, memory capacity, screen size, low weight, are willing to pay the same price and read, watch, and listen to the same ads, they can be treated as a single segment of the market.
Okay. Make sense? It's like, oh, American people. Think about that. Well, American, okay, but where did you grow up? What is your ethnicity? What is your gender? What is your age? Depending on when you are where you grew up, right? Or when, sorry, your reality is going to be different. So, okay, so targeting. Can you continue reading?
Segments, target markets, positioning. Target market, after identified the market for its products and the segments within that market, must still decide which of those segments to target. Must examine each market segment to decide whether it should be a target market. Depends whether the segment is large enough, whether it is growing, and the nature of the competition, and among other variables. Keep going.
No, okay, so let's see that the process of STP, all right? Number one, we identify, okay, what are the segments, and then we want to describe, analyze them, we evaluate them, okay, and then once we have that could be the segmentation, then we decide, okay, this is my target market, I'm going to go for it, and we will try to put strategies to actually position into that target market. Here they are giving the example of like, okay, computers, but it's not the same. Or phones, right? You can have your PC, and then you can have your tablet, right? And then your phone. Which one do you choose? From informatics, that type of thing. We choose one. And then from that one, we will use different strategies to sell this product. Okay, let's say I'm going to choose a tablet. That would be what? What could be the target? A tablet. That would be my target market. Okay, all right. It's easier with that. Geographic factors, okay, biological factors, and social cultural. American, which part of the population we want. We have to analyze and break it down and see if it's going to work or not, because maybe the idea that we have in mind might change in the actual positioning of it. Okay. So, to analyze what market we're talking about, all right, so we got a segment, market segmentation, market targeting, and positioning. Number one, identify the variables. Number two, we will develop certain profiles, okay, of those segments. Once we got that, we have an analysis, we can target. Okay, we are going to evaluate how attractive each segment is for my product, for my service. Maybe I need to adapt at this point. Already here, I might want to adapt my product. If I decide, okay, this is my target market, okay? So we select that, and the last part, okay, it's going to be about the positioning. Not because we have an idea, we make a good analysis, it means that it's going to work, 100%, okay? All right, and then we will do a market mix for that. Can we read this of the who? We gotta take into account who, why, and where. Who? Somebody read for me.
How do you define your target customer? What criteria are important to you? What constitutes a good fit for your product or services?
Okay, why? Continue reading, please.
What differentiates your product or service? What value do you provide? Why should they choose you over a competitor?
Very good. And then where?
Where do they hang out? How do you reach them? Where are your competitors advertising and why?
That could be the part of like positioning. Yes? All right. So we identified this, the who, the why, the where. Okay, and then we want to just examine every single segment and say, okay, this is the one that's going to work better, and we are going to work towards the positioning. Identification. First, the retailer must identify the most attractive markets to operate. Then we evaluate the density of the demand and supply, which is market. Okay, we identify as well some sites that can be attractive. As now, when we say about the sites, where do they hang out? Where can I put like my stand of hot dogs? At the entrance of the mall. That would be a perfect location, okay? And then we will see if those sites, those locations are available or not. Very good.